Esse é o programa Academia em Debate da Universidade Presbiteriana Mackenzie. É um programa promovido pela chancelaria da nossa universidade. É uma alegria retornar à sua casa, seu escritório, onde quer que você esteja nos assistindo agora. O programa de hoje conta com a presença do Dr. Michael Behe. Ele é bioquímico e é professor dessa disciplina na Universidade de Lehigh, na Pensilvânia, nos Estados Unidos. O seu doutorado também é em bioquímica e foi obtido na Universidade de Pensilvânia, nos Estados Unidos. Dr. Behe ficou famoso pelo seu livro A Caixa, Preta de Darwin, publicado cerca de 20 anos atrás e que continua fazendo algum sucesso, em que ele questiona alguns dos paradigmas da teoria darwinista da evolução e onde defende a ideia de que há evidências científicas suficientes na natureza para mostrar a presença de um propósito inteligente nas coisas que existem, contrariando, portanto, o dogma central do darwinismo de que as coisas que existem vieram a acontecer através de mutações randômicas, ocasionais, aleatórias e acidentais. Dr. Behe, é uma alegria muito grande recebê-lo aqui em nosso programa. E eu gostaria de começar fazendo a seguinte pergunta. O que é de fato a teoria do design inteligente e qual o objetivo dela?
Well, intelligent design is just the idea that many parts of nature are better explained as the results of purposeful design rather than undirected, unintelligent natural laws. It might help if I gave a quick example. In the United States, we have a mountain called Mount Rushmore. And on the Mount Rushmore, about 50 years ago, a sculptor sculpted the faces of 4 former presidents of the United States. So if you were walking in the woods and you came upon Mount Rushmore, even if you had never heard of it before, you would easily recognize that that part of nature was the result of intelligent design. And the reason you can tell that is because you see all the parts of the mountain that are arranged to portray images of the presidents. Well, intelligent design as a science is the idea that we have found things like Mount Rushmore in the cell, in life, and also in the universe at large. We have learned that cells are controlled by molecular machines. The cells, the little bodies that make up your whole body, and this was unknown to Darwin, and so as a result of this new knowledge, the intelligent design proposes that we should reconsider our theories of the origin of life. And proposes that intelligence was involved.
O senhor falou aí na sua explicação, na sua resposta, e eu também citei isso na pergunta, várias vezes apareceu o termo inteligente. Quando o senhor e os demais defensores do design inteligente usam esse termo inteligente, o que inteligente aqui significa? Simplesmente alguma coisa que é oposta ao que é aleatório, aquilo que acontece por acaso?
Well, if you go back to the Latin, intelligent means to make a choice. And we know that rational beings can make choices. And the way that we detect intelligence is by the external effects of a rational mind. For example, if you went to another planet and you saw beings there that looked human, but they couldn't write, they couldn't build anything, and they acted like animals, you would think that they were not intelligent, at least not as intelligent as we are. If you speak to a person, you oftentimes judge their intelligence by the language that they use, the level of the language, or you judge the intelligence of a person by what they can do, what they can build. Intelligence, it turns out that we have found in nature things that look like they are the results of intelligence, things that require choosing among different options, things which can perform functions, perform jobs that are very sophisticated, and in our experience always do require intelligence.
Mas essas coisas que parecem funcionar harmonicamente, que são complexas, elas não podem ter surgido através de processos naturais, uma coisa construindo em cima da outra e melhorando?
No, to develop a machine by chance is as unlikely in biology as it is in our everyday world. When we see a machine in the hardware store or a lawnmower on somebody's lawn, we immediately know that it's not a product of chance because all of the parts are fit together in order to perform the function. And the probability, the odds against that coming together by chance is very, very small. So small that we've never seen it happen. And so the same goes for the machinery in life. Even simple machines, I frequently use an example of a mousetrap, need many parts in order to function, and they have to be fitted to each other, and they all have to be present. Or if you take away the spring of a mousetrap, it's broken. So those things cannot be developed gradually or accidentally, and the same is true of many molecular machines.
A teoria do design inteligente tem sido muito atacada e criticada por ser uma teoria religiosa, ou a mesma coisa de criacionismo, porque as opções são estas: ou as coisas aconteceram por acaso, através de processos naturais, ou há uma inteligência por detrás de tudo o que acontece. E, naturalmente, se rejeitarmos a ideia do acaso, teremos que abraçar, aparentemente, a ideia de que há uma mente por detrás que planejou e guiou todo esse processo complexo. E isso leva, inevitavelmente, à pergunta: quem é o designer que está por detrás desse processo inteligente? E como a resposta de muitos vai ser Deus, ao temor de que o design inteligente, de fato, seja uma teoria religiosa, uma espécie de criacionismo disfarçado. Essa é uma crítica que tem sido feita ao design inteligente e que nós vamos abordar no próximo bloco. Fique conosco. Estamos de volta com o programa Academia em Debate, hoje sobre design inteligente e evolução, com o Dr. Michael Behe, bioquímico da Universidade de Lehigh, com doutorado na Universidade da Califórnia, autor do livro A Caixa Preta de Darwin, que fez grande sucesso no Brasil e continua provocando polêmica a respeito da evolução e dos processos darwinistas de seleção natural. Dr. Behe, muitas pessoas acham que o design inteligente é uma teoria religiosa, porque mesmo que o design inteligente evite falar quem é o designer, a resposta é óbvia. Muita gente vai dizer que o designer, na verdade, é Deus. Por isso tem sido dito que o design inteligente, na verdade, é uma teoria criacionista disfarçada e que, no fundo, está baseada na Bíblia e assim por diante. O que é que o senhor diz a isso?
Well, intelligent design is not creationism. Creationism is a religious idea. Intelligent design is a scientific idea. And the difference is that intelligent design arises from the study of nature rather than a reading of scripture. And its method is to go out and see what exists in nature and try to find the best explanation for it. And it has come about because, unlike what Darwin expected, life, even at its fundamental level, the cell and the molecules in the cell, is extremely complex and contains true machinery. That's not just an analogy, it's true machinery. Darwin expected that the cell would just be a little glob of jelly, a little bit of protoplasm. So the idea of design arises naturally from the data, because when we see such complex machines, whenever we've seen them before, they were the result of intelligence, and there's no reason not to think that the machines we've discovered in the cell are the result of intelligence. So intelligent design might have religious implications, but it actually doesn't have any religious premises. It just comes from the study of nature. And actually it's not unique in that. There's another theory in physics, the Big Bang theory. About 100 years ago, most physicists thought that the universe was eternal and pretty much unchanging. But then evidence was gathered that the universe had a beginning. And many people, including many scientists, were very uncomfortable with this because they thought it pointed to a creation event. Maybe this was when God created the universe. And maybe it was. But nonetheless, the Big Bang theory was a scientific theory because it involved just scientific data and reasoning from that data. And intelligent design is the same.
Será que existem cientistas ateus ou agnósticos que defenderiam a ideia do design inteligente, e isso então poderia ser usado como prova de que o design inteligente não é uma teoria de religiosos?
Well, very few atheists would defend intelligent design because I think that they can see that if you need the design of life or the design of the universe, then it's going to involve something beyond the universe. And since by definition an atheist doesn't think there is something beyond the universe, you would either have to give up your atheism or ignore the data and give up intelligent design. There are some agnostics who think that the current theory, Darwin's theory, is a poor explanation for how life came about on Earth. And yes, that's a good point to make to people who say that intelligent design is a religious theory. Additionally, many people say that intelligent design is specifically a Christian idea, but intelligent design has been defended and has adherents in many different religions, including Judaism and even some Asian religions. And so it does not arise from specifically Christian ideals. It arises from a study of nature.
É verdade que a teoria darwinista da evolução é uma teoria em crise e que mesmo cientistas que não são do design inteligente estão fazendo críticas e mostrando os pontos fracos dessa teoria e que se espera para breve uma alteração significativa nessa teoria?
Yes, it's interesting that although many scientists in the mainstream do not like intelligent design one bit, most biologists, I think, recognize that Darwin's theory does not account for what science has discovered in life. They did not expect the great complexity and the large amounts of information that is present in the cell. And so they're casting about. And if you look at books published in the last 10 years by major academic presses, authored by leading evolutionary biologists, almost all of them propose additions to or transformations of Darwin's theory and say bluntly that Darwin's theory can't explain what we have found in life, but they propose more unintelligent mechanisms to explain what is in life, and have not caught on. Their ideas have not caught on, and I think they're, as we say in the United States, barking up the wrong tree. They're looking in the wrong place, because the systems we see clearly point to intelligence. And it's only, I think, for philosophical reasons that many people avoid a conclusion of intelligent design.
A comunidade científica, em geral, tem rejeitado a teoria do design inteligente por vários motivos. E a pergunta é, por que é que uma teoria que apresenta tantas evidências concretas, físicas, da presença de um propósito, de uma inteligência por detrás da fábrica da vida, por que que ela é tão rejeitada, criticada, ridicularizada, desprezada até? É isso que nós vamos perguntar ao Dr. Michael Behe no próximo bloco. Fique conosco. Estamos de volta com o programa Academia em Debate. Esse é o nosso último bloco. O programa de hoje está entrevistando o Dr. Michael Behe, famoso bioquímico, que publicou o livro A Caixa, Preta de Darwin, cerca de 2 décadas atrás, questionando alguns dos principais postulados da teoria darwinista, especialmente o fato de que a teoria darwinista diz que o processo natural de evolução se dá através do acaso, do acidente, de mutações aleatórias, mudanças acidentais. Dr. Behe, por que é que a comunidade científica como um todo não somente rejeita a teoria do design inteligente, mas até mesmo ridiculariza e zomba e considera quase que uma fantasia?
Well, I think there are a number of reasons, and it's a complex subject why scientific community doesn't embrace intelligent design when, at least I think, it's clearly indicated. And one is a historical reason. That is, when Darwin first proposed his theory, it was opposed by some religious people. It was also opposed by some scientists, but some biologists and some religious groups have been at loggerheads over the theory for a while. A second reason is that science is pretty conservative. It doesn't give up a theory very easily. If you look at the history of science, many theories have gone on when it was clear they had many, many problems before they were replaced by another, simply because so many scientists were used to thinking in terms of the old theory. Another reason is more human. I think scientists want to be able to explain everything. They want their profession to be number one. And if there's design, if something outside of nature is responsible for some things in biology, then they might not be able to get an explanation for that, and they'd rather be able to explain everything. And I think the final reason is that some scientists, especially some scientists at the heads of organizations of scientists, simply don't want intelligent design to be true. they see that it does have extra scientific implications, and that many people will think that the designer is God, as I myself do, and they don't want that to happen. They, in fact, are atheists, and so they will, if they are committed to an atheistic world view, then they will simply find some other explanation or no explanation, and they will just let the mysteries stay there until they can think up something that's satisfactory to them.
Pelo que o senhor falou aí, então, o que nós percebemos no final é que é um confronto de dois sistemas que até podem ser chamados de religiosos, se a gente pensar que o ateísmo é uma espécie de religião. Por um lado, você tem o ateísmo materialista, que não pode admitir qualquer explicação para a vida que seja acima do que é material. E, por outro, você tem uma teoria, que é a teoria do design inteligente, que admite, assim, a possibilidade de que haja uma inteligência além do que a ciência pode determinar, que está por detrás de todas as coisas. Será que, no fundo, não é isso, um conflito de duas religiões?
Yes, that's certainly true, at least for a lot of scientists and for many who are in important positions in science. And it's important to realize that materialism or atheism is not science. It's not a conclusion that was reached because of some experiment in the laboratory, or it's a philosophy. And so even if you think the results of science give it prestige, the assumption that materialism is all there is simply that, an assumption. It's a philosophical assumption. And it also did not exist until relatively recently in science. Up until 200 or fewer years ago, almost all scientists were religious believers. Newton, Michael Faraday, great scientists who made great advances for science and were thought of it as discovering how God's world worked. And yet, it seems to be in the 19th century, I'm not a historian, I don't know why, but science came to subtly include this philosophy of materialism, that if science couldn't study it, it must not exist. And that confuses the public, and I think it's bad. It's very bad for science because it stops some scientists from seeing some things that are pretty plain to someone who does not subscribe to that idea.
Alguns desses cientistas ateus e materialistas, evolucionistas, eles dizem que a ciência está gradualmente e cada vez mais nos dando respostas para aquilo que antes a gente pensava que era Deus. E que vai chegar um momento em que a ciência vai explicar todas as coisas e que Deus se torna, então, uma explicação desnecessária. E aqui o argumento que eles usam é o argumento da navalha de Occam. E eu queria que você falasse a respeito disso.
Yes, it's really ironic in that the results of science, especially in the last 100 years or so, have been pointing more and more strongly to something outside of nature for an explanation of what we discover in nature. It's important to distinguish between how nature works and how nature originated. Just because a machine like a lawnmower or a mousetrap works and you can write down equations to show it does not mean that those machines did not require design. And in the 19th century, physicists thought that the universe itself was rather bland, that it didn't need any that it was not a special place, and that the Earth was not a special place, and that life probably existed on Mars and Venus and many other places because what was special about the Earth. And in astronomy and physics, science has shown that in fact the Earth is a very special place and is just right for the existence of life. Similarly, in biology, Darwin thought that the cell was a little glob of jelly, and that would be easy to explain too. And we've discovered that the more and more we discover, the more and more complex and elegant we see life to be. So I disagree with those scientists who think that science, the progress of science, is pointing away from God. If you look at the results, it's pointing very strongly towards God, towards something beyond the universe.
Muito obrigado, Dr. Michael Behe, pela sua presença no programa Academia em Debate. Se você deseja se comunicar conosco, mandar uma pergunta, uma sugestão, você pode escrever para esse e-mail aí, academiaemdebate@mackenzie.br, e nós teremos prazer em responder. Muito obrigado pela sua audiência. Até o próximo programa.
Minha recomendação de leitura é o romance O Retrato de Dorian Gray, de Oscar Wilde. Eu desconfio que esse romance seja mais conhecido do que efetivamente lido, porque a situação base é muito conhecida, muito retomada em outras situações, por livros, por filmes. A situação de alguém que tem o seu retrato pintado e a partir desse momento, na verdade a partir de uma espécie de promessa-desafio que é feita por ele, o retrato é quem passa a envelhecer, não o próprio personagem. O objetivo principal de Oscar Wilde ao escrever esse romance, me parece, era o de discutir o conceito de beleza. Há uma série de ironias no livro a respeito de uma suposta oposição entre beleza e inteligência. A própria situação chave, a do retrato que envelhece no lugar do retratado, é evidentemente um mero pretexto para que a sociedade britânica da segunda metade do século XIX seja exposta, e seja exposta, eu diria, no seu pior perfil.